I will make the best deck of them all. This will be the best deck around. Nothing's ever gonna get you down. Well, crap. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my thoughts. Today we are going to talk about my thoughts on Faeria. First off, before we start getting into it, the developer is Abrakam. It was developed March 8th, 2017, and I've spent about 10 hours in the game so far, just free to play. I haven't spent any money on the game, and I haven't really spent any in-game currency either. So what you're looking at now is where you should be at in 10 hours or so. Alright. Where to start with this game? There's a lot to say about this game, and if I was to give it an elevator pitch, I would compare this game to Hearthstone and chess, because those are the games I know very well. Although there's also some elements that seem to be very familiar from Magic the Gathering. But let's just jump right into a game so I can explain how the game works right now. So as you can see, as far as the play is concerned, you jump into play, and then you have here solo, battle, and Pandora. Each of these game modes is different. We're going to be talking mostly in solo because that way I don't need to actually strategize and I can, just go against the computer. It's going to be a little bit more relaxing. Battle is going to be against other players. So it's the standard Hearthstone kind of scene. It has competitive, it has casual battles as well. You also have Pandora, which is basically like a gauntlet run. You make a deck at random from random cards and then you do a gauntlet run. Solo has two different types of gameplay. Games, I guess I would say. They have a puzzle-based game, and then they also have a just standard, I guess, campaign single-player type setup. As you can see here, I have completed the first lane, and I need to buy packs to be able to continue on. However, there is a replay mode, so we can actually look through all the different games, all the different levels that I have completed prior to this point. You start out in the game, basically once you sign up for Faeria, you then set up your account, choose a name, jump in, play through about 5 or 6 games just explaining the basics of it, and then after you get the basics explained, then you make your account officially to keep your name locked in as your actual name. There are plenty of aesthetics that we can look over another time, maybe a little bit later in this video. So let's jump right into a game and I'll start explaining stuff. The game itself would explain it for you, but I'd rather not do that. Let's just jump right into a practice game so I can just talk about the game as we go. So you have decks here. When you first jump in, you don't have any deck building, so I'm just going to jump right in with one of the most basic decks, just what you start out with. So here we are. This is the screen that you should be seeing most of your game with, unless you've got hundreds of cards to open up, I guess. Just like in Hearthstone, you can choose to send some cards back in the deck. I forget what this is called. Mulligan? I forget what the term is. I'm not a very avid card player, but basically you can be like, I don't want this guy. Actually, I want all of these, but let's just send this one in for example's sake. Say I don't want an Imperial Guard. Send it in. Switches out for another card instead. But I like these. So a couple things that you might notice. You cannot set down any cards, any units, unless you make land first. And these are the different types of land. So what I typically like to do is go like that. And since we went second, we got to get an Explorer card, which lets us create a land and then get 2, what are these called? Mana? I'm going to call it mana. I don't know exactly what it's called. Then I'm going to put this Village Elder over here, and then next turn he will harvest from this mana spring over here. So now that our turn is up, we end turn. By the way, if you're against other people, there is a time limit, so I could not take nearly as much time explaining stuff as I am now. Up here, it would count down. I'll show that later on in the video as well, so you'll be able to see it. Same goes for the enemy turn would count down if it wasn't against a computer. Since it's a computer, though, it's not a big deal. So our turn again, we got 3 of that mana orb, and then this guy also picked up some mana for us. All right, we have a farm boy. So let's build 2 more land. Put a farm boy here, and then both of these will draw from the mana well next turn. So by this point, you're either going to keep up really well or you're going to get confused. So the progress that it goes, your turn, you draw a card, which that's all automated, and then you choose between whether you want to make land, which you need to make, otherwise you can't put your cards down. You can't put your cards down in the water or in blank spaces, and then you need to choose what you want to do with your land. So you could make grassland, could make mountain ones, or red. This is green, this is red, this is yellow, this is blue. So it's like Magic the Gathering in that aspect. But these are the elements that you have to choose from. But there isn't one that's super effective over the other. They're all just different. And different cards need different land requirements. So these ones, they did not have any land requirements. You can play them from the get-go. However, these ones all do have land requirements. The Bloom Sprite, if you see here, I can't mouse over it. You see the two and the tree to the side there. That requires 2 forest land nodes. This also requires 2 forest land nodes. This requires 1. So even though we have the blue number to summon these, we can't actually summon them until we have the land requirement beforehand. So we got 11. We don't have enough to do that. I think we should make a tree plane. And so, as you might have already noticed, you can move your units on the land. So once this land is connected, he'll be able to move his towards us and we'll be able to move ours towards him. So right now we've played kind of standoffishly. You'll also notice the card abilities. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Right now, let's just stick to the basics. So this first game just kind of will make a little bit more sense, and I'll speak more in a basic plain tone. That being said, only 10 hours worth of gameplay. There are a lot of people that are going to be way better at this game than me. Just hands down, just going to say right now, there are going to be people that are just like, he's playing ineffectively. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best that I can. Alright, so since we moved our units, they actually didn't draw from the mana wells. So you're going to want to go like that. Now they drew from it, so if you move your units there. The reason why they didn't draw immediately is because when you put them down, they cannot move on the same turn. And again, that's very similar to Hearthstone in that aspect. Alright, I want to slow stuff down a little bit. So I don't want to do anything with that, though. Let's put this here. I feel like I'm sacrificing him. And that's a card ability allows him to move. But we're not going to do that. We're going to try to pin him here. So you'll notice on the units, they've got a fire symbol and a heart symbol. I'm pretty sure it's intuitive and people already know what that is, but in case you don't, the fire, or I guess that could be a wing, is the attack, and the heart is the life. So this guy has 1 life, 6 attack. This one has 1 attack, 1 heart. And so I want to hit him with that because even the requirement cost is lower for the card, but that's thinking on a different playing field. I'll snap. Okay, good. I thought he put down that land so he could go and take out the farm boy. That's one of the moves you can do. If somebody's across from you, you could put down land and then just summon somebody directly across from them. Alright, let's get rid of that. There we go. That's a good card. So this is kind of like a magic card. So let's just summon this one right now. That's a pretty nice one. Gain 6 life. We don't want to play him for a while, though. Okay, so let's build another one of these. Oh, and here are a couple other things to keep in mind while we are on the subject of just basic gameplay mechanics. I sat a game to figure this out for myself. The blue here continues to count up. This will just keep on going up and up. You don't need to spend it all in one turn. In one game, I got to 52 before I ran out of cards. You'll also notice that down here, if you mouse over the blue orb, it shows how many cards you have in your deck, as right now it's 22, and then it also shows how many cards you have in your hand, which is 4. That being said, you can let this count up as much as you want. The cards in your hands, though, you cannot let this pass 9. Otherwise, the cards will be destroyed. So, mill decks are a thing in Hearthstone. They could be a thing here as well if you have the cards to mill somebody's deck. Alright, I don't like this setup, so let's draw another card instead of building land. This is what I was kind of hoping for. This card has Taunt. Again, we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Taunt basically means that it can attack my little poor little farm boy over here. So, let's move this up a notch. And let's call that good and end turn now. I'm trying to push into the enemy's lines because you can build land. Aww. Boo hiss boo. That wasn't any fun. You can lose to the practice person, by the way. So, just to let you know that there are stakes. So let's build this. Alright. Now let's summon a pretty heavy hitting... Yeah. We'll summon a heavy hitting unit here. So 7 and 7. That's a pretty heavy hitting unit. Let's also buff him up a little bit. And let's move this one there. So maybe we'll be able to get rid of something. And let's put... I want to put something in the way of this unit. Wait. Oh, he can hit me no matter what he wants. Nah, we'll just eat it. So the reason why I'm so concerned here is because you see there's a 20 heart next to this orb. This represents you, and as this does damage to you, once that hits 0, you lose. Once your opponents hit 0, your opponent loses. So again, pretty straightforward how that works. But something that may be overlooked. The game would have definitely explained ahead of time what was going on. Alright. So, this creature has Taunt. I want to put that down here. Let's bring this unit in to attack. And let's put this down here. Let's take that one out. We get to draw a card. Fair enough. That looks good to me. Let's end turn. He'll hit me again. Well, depending on how he reacts to the taunt. That guy can move so fast. Alright, so another 3 damage. Alright, let's... Alright, now that we've been hit a couple times, let's... Alright, so... First off, I don't have the mana or whatever orbs to summon this creature, so instead of building land this turn, we could, as you've seen me already doing, draw a card or get one of those orbs in addition. So we could do this, and then we can summon this. Where should we go? Let's go here. Put him defensive. That also healed me for 6, so that was good all around. Hit him there. Now you will notice you can move, and then you will also have the option to attack. So that option is still kept available to you. So yeah, that will conclude our first game against Practice. So pretty straightforward. For those of you who are familiar with this style of game, I'm sure you picked it up immediately and you're following along with no problem whatsoever. So I'm going to try to progress and talk about more advanced things from this point on, but I will also try to keep in mind that some people are going to get lost. So I did compare this to chess, and there's a reason for that. There's a special game mode that you have here. So if we replay a game, there are 2 types of gameplay modes. You've got puzzles, and then you got missions. But you also have here quests and epic missions. Epic missions and quests, basically the same thing. The only difference, if there is one, is the rules are different, and sometimes you need to play a different style. Like, instead of playing defensively, like I played rather defensively for most of that game, and then I went in for a strike. I think that's a pretty typical strategy to do, especially with a green deck. However, their epic missions and other quests will require you to play a different way than that. However, all the puzzles are different. So we're just going to pick a puzzle at random, and hopefully you won't remember the puzzle when it comes time to actually do a puzzle if you decide to take this game up. By the way, Faeria is free. You could go and download this right now. If you didn't get that from me saying that I didn't, that I have played free-to-play so far. So yeah, just a reminder. So in puzzles, you need to win this turn. The reason why this reminds me of chess is I don't know if we have any chess fans in the audience today, but the reason why this reminds me of chess is because in chess there's something called solving for mate. And that is when you're given a situation, a board setup, and then you're told, all right, try to figure out how to get checkmate in this many moves, or in this turn, in one turn, or something like that. And then you have to think some crazy convoluted thoughts to be able to figure out what you're doing. And that's how it is for these puzzles. So since I chose a more advanced puzzle, we're going to actually need to look at what some of the cards say. So we got to win this turn. That is the rule. In our hand, we have a card that deals 3 damage. Okay, combat, deal 2 damage to your opponent. Taunt, deal 2 damage to your opponent. And then we gain 2 magic. Alright. So, if we attack with 3, we can actually fail this and it'll just let us restart. So if we just straight up attack, so that did 2 and 2. We don't have enough mana or magic to actually be able to cast the finishing off spell. So we're out of moves, we got to restart. And the game does it for us. If you flat out fail, you can hit this reset button over here. So what we want to try to do is something a little bit different. So this only does 2 and this is 2. This has 5 health. So let's move him out of the way. We actually got a little bit of mana there. So then we want to move this one. And even though that unit is destroyed, it does 2 damage. This one, in combat, it gains 2 mana for us. Still didn't destroy it. So we got 2 mana now. So now we strike here. And the combat, it deals 2 damage to your opponent. So whenever that unit enters combat, it'll do 2 damage to your opponent. It was the same one for the other one, deal 2 damage to your opponent. Now we have the finishing spell, which deals 3 damage, finishing it off, thereby completing this puzzle. So you'll notice that I'm not getting any experience anymore. You would get experience for the first time that you get through here, and as you leveled up, you would get cards, you'd get bonuses, you'd get unlocks, you'd get some currency and stuff like that. So that, again, very similar to Hearthstone, mechanically speaking. Now, I did save these 2 to demonstrate what it's like to purchase upgrades. Now, there are 2 types of currencies. I'm going to assume that the coin is the more common of the 2, and so I personally am going to hoard the gems. If you want to, you can buy gems with real money. I believe that the tokens are probably for loyalty. So I'm actually gonna, we'll look at that in a little bit again. So let's explore the user interface here right now. So let's move over here to the decks. So there is crafting. You can craft cards. You can disenchant all excessive cards. There are packs that you can open. I will also be opening a bunch of packs. I saved up 10 packs just for this video. You know, just trying to, consider it. I know that I don't want to be like, hey, watch this video of me just opening packs. I don't find that very engaging at all. But if you do, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to make content like that, but I will supplement my content with it. I don't see a problem with that. So you got different types of cards. As you can see, they're all organized by the element of land that is required for them. That is crafting. We're going to get out of crafting, though. I'm just going to show the ones that I have. I have opened some, so naturally these are a little bit more rare. What is this? Show mystics. So that's a mystic card. Then I think, do I have any other cool ones? Here's one. So that's some of the cooler cards that I've gotten lucky getting. I'm assuming that those are rare. I don't yet quite know off the top of my head if there's any rare I think the rarity also is the color at the bottom, just like it would be for Hearthstone. So blue's higher than that. Mystic is another tier above that. I could definitely be wrong on that, though. If I am, just leave a comment, and I'm sorry in advance if I've been incorrect about that. Now, you will also notice over here, these are completed decks. The game gives you something called, what are these called? Recipes? Formulas. There we go, formulas. So as you progress, as you get higher up in levels and you complete different objectives, they will give you formulas, which will then tell you the cards that you need to be able to make a certain type of deck. So this is the latest one that I can do, which is a mixture between water and fire decks. And the whole concept is strike a bargain with the ogres and play these expensive cards at a fraction of their normal cost. Unleash dragons and behemoths to reap epic victories. I mean, that sounds cool. I like dragons. That's a very cool looking thing. The starter deck, the green starter, it's kind of funny because that's the first magic deck I got was green, and it definitely makes a lot of sense. Harness the strength of the forest. Support your army of humans with extra health and mobility. Establish a foothold near Faeria. Near a Faeria well, that's what it's called. And then dash towards the orb. Basically, that is what I just did last game. I played that game like a poster boy for this deck. That's how it's designed to be played. And it's a game, and it's a style that I like playing as. Each deck has a different approach to it, and it felt different playing it because I've played, anyways, these 4 decks. I did not play Blue Invasion because, as you can see, I don't have all the cards for that. So as I collect more cards, it'll be fun to try these different deck formulas out. And again, you don't actually need to make a deck based on the formula alone. You could make a custom deck, which is what I did here to test out a daily. I was testing out dailies because guess what? There are dailies in this game. I was testing out how many red cards were played and if I could get credit for the daily by replaying solo levels. The short answer is no, you cannot. Here's where the daily quests are located. The daily quest I have for today is play 10 red cards, and then we get these Inferno coins. So there you go, Inferno coins. So you would be able to, if they were live, and we will test that live actually when I buy one of these to open up, and then we just play one game in there. We're going to see if we can get the daily through that. So we've talked about the cards themselves, the number. You got, like, these are called events, not spell cards, so they're events. You have then minion cards here. You've got different uses for them. You could read them. Taunt forces whoever's around to attack that card. Last words, this is what it does when it dies. Death touch, that will kill anything that it attacks. Gift, that means that it will do this when it is set down. Haste means that it can act immediately when it is set down. I think those are the basic ones of it. Production, this is while it's on the ground. While it's played, this will happen every single turn. Dash lets it move forward farther. So it lets it move, like, instead of, I think this one can move 2 squares instead of just the 1. Maybe it can move even farther. I've seen some pretty crazy looking cards that go far. Flying, it can fly. You can still hit flying units unless it specifically says that it cannot be hit. Transform your other creatures. That costs 2 more. Transform all your other creatures into creatures that cost 2 more. So if you have a bunch of stuff down and then you play that, something really cool happens. Cool beans. Now, aquatic, this one can actually go in empty plains on the ground. So when you don't have land, if there is land, you can make water pools that you can do with that card. So there is that. You can do that with that. Taunt and production. This is a fun one. Just a fun little defensive unit. Combat, that happens every single time that it enters combat. It doesn't matter if it dies or lives. Every time it attacks or is attacked, that will happen to it. There may be, okay, charge 3. So I think the other one we were looking at, that was charge 2. Charge 3, I'm guessing, I think that means that it can move 3 squares farther than the 2 square one. So production 2, the big thing. So each deck plays a little bit differently, and generally the way it seemed to me is life deck is building up units and... no, I don't think I even want to generalize because it seems different. It seems to be the theme. Anyways, yeah, no, I can't make that generalization because there are different cards in different sets, and as you get more cards in each set, then you can build different types of decks that do different things. So that's not a good assumption to make at all. People would probably shoot that down. So then you got the chests over here that you can open up. Hold that thought. We'll open those in a sec. Then you have here the purchase. So this is the you spend real money to get gems to be able to get these things. But you can earn currency. I don't know to what extent you can earn the currency either. That's something that I'm not going to be able to tell you that much about right now. If it is required, I will come back and do another video because I plan on playing this casually. I'm not going to play it really hardcore, and I'm going to continue playing it for free because I don't have money, but that's just where I'm going to set for now. Then, of course, you have the quest, you have the friends list. I'm not going to drop that down because that's the people that I played against, and I don't want you to see the ones because they've all won for the most part. Sign out, options. You click up here. You can change your not profile. These are emotes. You can emote your opponent if you really want to. You start out with the Explorer, and then as you progress through the single player, you unlock the Azure Sprite. And then the farthest one that I've unlocked is Crimson Sprite, and of course I try to represent the farthest I've gotten. You can change the orb. I don't know where these orbs come from. Achievements maybe. I don't know where any of these other things come from. These are card backs that you can change. You got different wells. So there's a lot of customization as you can get. You maybe get them as you level up or as you progress or within cards, or maybe you buy them. I don't know where you get those at this point. I don't think I missed anything, right? Right. All right, let's look at the other mode. So, we have looked at solo. In general, to recap, solo, you will get to this point playing free-to-play. There were this many levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 6, 7, 8. I might have counted that wrong. Within about 60 different levels that you can play free, and then you will need to get these. But if you're playing against other people, you will build up enough currency to at least buy another pack, and then as you get dailies and stuff like that, you can keep going. I don't know how far this is going. Again, I can report back on this another time. Two different types of game modes. You got the puzzles, and then you have just the quests themselves. So you can do solo all by yourself. It's fun. Highly recommended. You know, if you don't know if you're going to like this game or not, it's free to play. You can download it. You can play through all the solo stuff completely on your own and find out for yourself if you like this game. So there you go. Solo alone, I've spent 10 hours in this game. I enjoyed it completely. It has a very unique style. The music is soothing, and I love chess, and I like Hearthstone. So this is just a natural game that I'm just drawn to, and I really enjoy. Next, you have Battle. When you go into battle, again, you can choose the deck that you want to use, and then you can choose between casual or ranked. I've done nothing with ranked. I've only played casually. I played the test deck to test to see if this would go through. I haven't won any yet because I don't really have that many cards because I've been saving those 10 packs, so maybe I'll be able to play a couple better decks. Then Pandora. So you do get Pandora practice coins, and I've saved my practice coin for today. You can play multi or you can play single player. So let's play right now so you can see what it looks like to jump into a Pandora game. And I'm not going to try to pick these cards very smartly. I'm just going to try to keep the video going so you can see you can pick between these cards. All right, I'm just going to try to go for green and neutral cards. So, okay, I'm going to go with that one. Let's go with that one. Let's go with that one. I know that card. Let's do that one. Let's do this one. Let's do that one. Ranged, there's a new one. Ranged, we haven't talked about that yet. Then you choose between these cards, which they happen in Pandora. I don't know if they happen in any other game modes or if you see these cards anywhere else, but this is a fun one. I like that one. Let's pick up. Let's get that one. So you can play it smart, and you can look at the mana cost that you're going to have for each card, or Faeria cost. There we go. Now we get to double up. You can only have 3 of one type of card in your deck. This might change for this game mode, but if you're building a normal deck, by the way, that's the rule. I know that card. I know that card. I know that card. There, so now we have 3 of those range units. Okay, let's pick up. Let's grab that guy. And that one. And activate, give +1/+1, deal 1 damage to this structure. Nah. Let's do that. So we choose that one. I like the yak horn personally. Choose one. Give a creature 2/2 or gain 5 life. That's pretty useful. Let's do that. Let's grab that guy and let's, I don't know. That one's helped me before. A random creature. Let's do that one. I haven't tried that card. It's nice. That's a fun card to have. Again, I'm sure there will be a meta and you can only use certain cards in certain setups, but there are cards that I like over other cards, and I'm just going to go with the ones that I'm familiar with already. Let's do that, and let's 2 force at random. That looks good. -2. Okay. Destroy all creatures. It's control the enemy's severity. If we're losing really bad, we can use that one. And then you see this mode, and it tells you the different types. What's this? This is a lock? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Maybe there are future elements that I've yet to see yet. That would be cool. Alright, so let's just jump into a game really quick. I'll try to explain a little bit more of my thought process in this one. But again, this is with a random deck, so it's going to be a little bit hard to play. I'm going to try to play it the same way as I played the other one, but I like these range ones. I want these. So, we don't want that guy. We want to send him back. Alright, Pandora shards have been shuffled into the deck. Once 5 shards are found, Pandora awakens. Look, the game explains it for me. And that's over here on the user interface up here. There will be an eyeball put in each one of these, and once it hits that, then Pandora awakens, and then you start drawing the Pandora, the special cards that we were looking at. Alright, let's do it the same way like this, and I don't have enough. Oh, I do have enough. We'll put that there, and there. Now we put him here, because then he can draw from that well. But as you see, you mouse over him, and you can see where he can shoot, and I cannot hit them yet. Not a fan. I'm not going to be putting my units anywhere that I can hit those two. However, they can't go to the mana wells because I'm going to put one here and then I'll take shots against him. Still can't shoot here yet. Alright, let's put this down here and put this here. We'll put this archer here. This archer can't do anything right now, so we're just going to leave him there. And then we'll be able to shoot poor Farm Boy Tom over there. Next turn. Then he won't be able to get that Faeria. Say hello to the gummy bears. Alright, what do we have here? So now we want to start building some forests. So let's progress a little farther forward. Taunt and combat. There's no sense in summoning him yet. We can still push farther forward before we summon. He's got 12 Faeria. Got 6. So far we're sitting pretty good. So at this point, I would like to push farther forward into his defenses there. So now I'm really close. Let's drop. Where should we go? Let's drop that there. We do have enough Faeria to drop an archer someplace else, but instead, I subscribe. I move that one there. And let's just drop our third. Well, let's just go all in for these archers here. Your own units can block your range ones, though. So I couldn't hit this guy here through that. You also cannot shoot over targets. That's what I mean to say. So let's go there. Let's see what he does. He's going to set something down. Oh, it's a water deck. Okay. All these farm boys. Alright. Let's take a shot here and get rid of that guy. And let's, as you can see, you can actually move and hit at the same time. So we're going to move him off and move him onto his hex. Now he cannot summon a unit on top of that. That's pretty cool. I like that feature. Then we're going to build a forest there. This is a fun one because this one buffs every time something big is summoned. Let's drop that there. And give a creature. So that's giving a creature more health and taunt. We'll hold on to those cards for now. And, ah, shoot, I should have moved him to the right. Whoops. What's this? Okay, we got one Pandora shard. Every time this one is summoned, it creates a mountain. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. We are not set up correctly to get these shots off. So let's go. Every time a unit dies, you summon. Let's build one here. Let's build that there. And let's start hitting, I'm just going to call it face. And let's leave the rest of that. Let's move this one in here. If he does not move, then we'll get him. If he does move, then I'm not going to be able to get him, but it's not going to matter anyway. So we got a bunch of spots here pegged down with this range unit, so I still like where he's at. Let's try that. The big thing I like about range units, the thing I like about the range units is that they will not be damaged when they hit, as long as they're at range. If this range unit hits him now, he's going to retaliate. Man, that's an expensive unit. Alright. Let's drop another hit here. And let's drop another hit there. Let's do that. We get it with dash. Let's play it here. And let's move it back one. Bring its health down a little bit. Draw another card. Is there anything else we can do? Here we go. So now we give that card taunt and more health. So even if he follows him up and attacks him, we're still in pretty good shape. Let's play this one here. Maybe we'll bait him away from that. And let's just go all in and heal that unit up. Things are looking pretty bleak for our opponent this turn. However, he did get the Faeria wells right before Pandora awoke. Pandora awakens. Treasures are found in decks. Gain 3 extra Faeria each turn. Wells are empty. So he lucked out there because now there isn't any Faeria in the wells anymore. Got him. Alright, so this is going to give my units flying now. And it's also going to give them 1+ attack. Oh, boo hiss. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Deal 2 damage. So we can drop this here. Let's draw another card. Let's drop this guy over here. So now they're flying. They could actually move onto the land. They also can move even farther. Let's shoot you. Actually, wait. Let's hit him. So that increased it because every time an adjacent creature dies, he gains damage. That's good. Taunt, last words, create a random forest. This will give him taunt. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to put it right here, but we can't do that. So let's just put that there. So that'll taunt from that, so we don't need to worry about that unit. Actually, we still could just shoot that. I'm curious. Let's see if we can move and shoot. Okay, one move, that's all you can do. You can't shoot any farther with that then. So let's finish that unit off. So even though it was another unit that died, we still gained health there. So you could like put down 1/1 units with your ranger and then just shoot them up. Oh, you can't shoot your own targets. Never mind, that doesn't make sense. If you had the spell card that you could put and destroy your own units, you could do that. So there's nothing else happening with that one. 4. Let's just play this for good measure. 4. Bam, we won that game. So there we go. And now you get to see the level up animation. Our reward for leveling up 100 of those coins. And that's it. Then you get +1. And the more numbers that you get here, the better. So if I had lost, I would then get a skull. So 2 skulls and I'm out. If you pay for an actual coin, then you get an additional one. And you get a free Pandora coin every single day. I think if we leave, can we leave and go back to that if we want? This time we can, so that's cool. Kind of a gauntlet though, so you can go for quite a while. I went for about 5 times on a random deck, and I think people that are actually really good and know this game a whole lot better than me, they probably can just keep on going and going and going. So it's very nice that you can stop midway. All right, so really all that's left is to show a game against another person and buying these. So before we do that, let's open up some of these chests, shall we? So let's open up this. It's like in Hearthstone, you can hover over and you can see the rarities. So these are commons. I assume they're commons. They've got the little white thing there, and this is going to be a rare, I think. And it looks like you can re-roll rares. I haven't hit that button. We'll hit one of those if I see something that I'm just like, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if you re-roll for another rare or if you just re-roll the card in general. Okay, common, 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 rare, common. Okay, let's... Alright. Cool beans. Let's open these up now. See if maybe we'll get something cool. Nope. I'm not going to take the time to get myself really well acquainted with these. First creature you summon. I like that card. I'm not going to re-roll that one. That's one of the nice things about Pandora is you get to play with other cards you may or may not actually have. Waryak. I remember seeing that one. That one was played against me. Not a fan. It'll be nice to have that card, though. I always think the Waryak looks like Roadhog when actually on the playing field. Oh, these are cool. I don't want to re-roll those. I don't know if I'm going to be able to re-roll any. I'm just like, these are cool. I like this one. Again, I have no idea what is super lucky or not. Let's re-roll and see what happens. So, okay, we got a rare. Looks like we re-roll for another rare. So you might be able to re-roll for another equal card. That's a cool feature, especially when you know what you have for cards already. Oh, there we go. Got a purple. I don't know if this is epic or rare, what the names are for these, but okay. This one requires, 2 different types of land to summon. That's fancy. That gets into more complicated decks. And that's the... I think I said this already, but that's the Magic the Gathering tie-in that I see, is the different types of land required to summon. But you don't tap it. You don't tap your land. What do we got? What do we got? Well, that was fun. Okay, you're out of chests. You could go to shop and buy a new chest if you want. So that's the requirement for buying chests. So we're not going to do any of that. I'm just going to keep on going with that. By the way, there is a refer a friend kind of program thing that you can put in whoever invited you to play the game, and they get a free chest. So that's cool as well. All right, no. Why do I keep doing it? I'm absent-minded. All right, let's go back to the single player. Solo. And so I'm not going to embarrass myself and read this one out. Yeah, forget it. Jamara 2. This is the one that I think I'm going to want to do because I like the puzzles. Master the game by solving Sphinx riddles. Contains 10 puzzles. Okay, so 10 puzzles. What's this one? Tactician is unique boards. Contains 7 missions. 10 puzzles, 7 missions. I'd rather have the puzzles, but I think the missions probably give you more experience. By the way, these objectives that you complete, they're like the dailies, only they can only be completed in these. And you don't get them in the puzzle one, which is lame. Actually, solve 10 puzzles in solo mode. Well, let's do puzzles then. Let's get that one. Yeah! So now we open it up. We'll have a look at the first puzzle. I'm not going to do all of them. All right, we got an instant death touch minion here. And we have a gain 1 of those. Deal 1 damage to all creatures. Summon a yak. Summon 3 yaks with haste. Okay, okay. Combat gain 1. Last words. Okay. How are we going to do this? So you don't want to drop that, because if you drop this, then it will take the shield down and kill that unit, because we're going to want to kill that to get the 10 magic from that. Can we... No, we don't want to attack. We can attack. If we do this, we don't die instantly, right? Right. So that's not how I want to do it. Let's restart. And we don't want to play Famine because that's going to kill that one. We want to kill this one. Okay, maybe that's not how we do it even. So let's try hitting that. No. No, 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 no. Okay. Let's try this differently. Instead of trying to get ourselves killed with Death Touch, let's just do this to bring the shield down. Okay. And then we will buff up this unit. Oh, they got me. Because now it won't work, because I thought maybe if I'd buff him up another time, then he'd have enough damage to be able to get me. So that doesn't work yet. Okay. We don't have enough to summon that, so that's not going to work. Okay, we could do this instead. So, instead we can buff him up once. Then we do Famine, bring down the shield. Now we come here, hit that. Now we get 10. And let's summon him here, here, and here. I thought so, and we were going to show up short. 2, 4, 6. So we needed the campfire to buff one of them. There, there, there. And that's about as much experience that I'm going to get from that. So I'm not going to level off of this. But I really like the puzzles. The puzzles are my favorite game mode in this. So we got one, and then that completed one for this one as well. So if you were to get this pack, you would want to use yellow cards to try to get that completed. I wish I could go back and complete them, but this shows you just how many puzzles there are. I don't know what you do, what happens when you run out of puzzles, if you've completed all the lanes. I'm sure there'll be more content that'll come out for this eventually. I really like it. That's that one. To finish this off, let's finish this off with a different deck and jumping into a casual game, and I'll try to talk what I can through it. So if I'm not going to do green deck, which is definitely the one that I would recommend starting with because this is the one that makes the most sense to me, the red deck is the one that I like as well. The test deck, that was trash. You don't want. I'm not even going to show you that deck. That deck was bad. Blue starter is more like, this one's more like tricky, trying to do different things. The yellow starter is highly offensive, but it also will do damage to yourself. Many of the cards will damage you. You have like sacrifice summons, a lot of death touch. Red starter is a pretty solid one that I would recommend. I'm not going to do rank. I'm not cool enough. I'm probably going to lose in casual anyway. So we'll jump in. As you can see, there is a queue time. You can go back. So while we're queued up for something, we could, let's see here. Can we go in? Nope, can't do that. Oh, because you can't do that much with it. You can just see the home page. All right, let's jump into this nonsense and see how I do. So no, I don't want that. I want a farm boy. That would be useful, but not in the early part of the game. That's not going to help me out so great. Okay, he goes first. He's got the default skin. He'll probably beat me. He might have played less time than me, and he'll still beat me. So here you go. You can see that it's counting down. When this hits 0, then his turn is over. I think eventually it has a timer that shows up on the screen to say, hey, you're running out of time. So I'm going to play so far similarly like I normally would. Drop off this guy here. And let's put an exploration node there. So he's going to draw stuff. Going to draw from the Faeria node. I don't want to have too much silence, but it looks like this guy's going to take a long time on his turns. Come on, man. That is something that I miss on Hearthstone, is that I can't click around the environment and be like, do-do-do-do-do-do. I can't click on these. No matter how hard I try to click on these, nothing else happens. A good thing for this game would be if they can work their way for tablet support as well, like Hearthstone has. That basically opened them up to a whole different market. Be highly recommended. Let's do that. So we can't start summoning red card types until we get more. What I would like to do with these cards, I would like to be able to get up to 9 Faeria so that I can summon. See, I've already switched from calling it mana to Faeria. Slowly my terminology is changing. would be if I could get 9 Faeria, because then when you play this card, you get 5 Faeria. And then it would be much easier to play other high-level cards. So it's basically you get a high-level card, and then you get a lot of that back. So the sooner you can play it, the better. Okay. Any day now. That's better. So we still can't do anything until we start building land. So let's start building land. Now he knows what kind of land we want. And this would only be a concern at, like, a higher level play that they'd be like, ah, that's the kind of deck that he's got. Now I can know what kind of cards it is. I'm nowhere near high enough. And then, in case you ever forget, just to, like, point out obvious graphical user interface things, they count here how many land you have. And then, of course, you can mouse over up here and see, okay, he's got 4 cards in his hand, 24 cards in his deck. Down here, I've got 25 cards in my deck, 3 cards in my hand. By the way, just like with Hearthstone, once you run out of cards, each time you try to draw, you will take damage to your character, to your sphere, to your orb, and it will increase every turn that you try to draw. And if you play cards that try to draw, I think that also damages you. So again, a very similar aspect there. Similar but different. Different enough that I could see a lot of Hearthstone players coming over here to play. Casual ones anyway. Has it seriously taken you that long to figure out which land you're going to play? This must be a new player. If this is a new player, then maybe I do have a chance. Maybe I can beat them. Ooh, what a play right now. Okay. Oh, there it is. There's the timer. Run out of time, man. Even though it's too late, there's nothing else you possibly could do. Maybe we'll see. Oh, we almost got to see what happened when he ran out of time. Okay, so 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's play this here. Play that there. And now he's going to be like, I can get that guy. And he'll hit that. And then I'll finish him off with a spell. 4, 5, 6, 7. Guess that wasn't as conservative as I would like it to be, but at least I get to save 2 of my high-hitting cards. So that's what I want to do anyway. I'd like to charge farther into his range so I can pull up more hard-hitting cards, but 3, 5. It would have been nice if I could play 5 and gone that direction instead. Maybe this wasn't the best way I could have played it. But I'll be able to put my... Looks like he's going to put his land here. I can put my land here, summon this one, and then start playing more aggressively. Come on, man. Again, as I wait, I think, man, if only I could click stuff in the background. That'd be a nice improvement there, too. Oh, he's buffing. However, I think we're still within range, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, really? Okay. Alright, if that's how we are going to play it. There's no easy winning here for Atratzu, folks. Alright, let's play this. Do that. Do this. And then let's just go here. And let's play that card there. So there we go. And now we're kind of in a position I'm almost ready to give up on building more land. If I could claim either of these 2 hexes here, I would be very happy in having such a far forward movement that I could hit him with. But at this point, I need to start getting more cards. No, not really. You're just holding up that unit, which I'm not that concerned about you holding up, to be honest. Okay. Interesting play. I see the cards that you've had. That's an interesting play as well. At least I'll be able to demonstrate that a taunted minion, you can't move away from it. So this minion has taunt, so it's going to make it so you have to attack them, alright? You can't move away, you have to attack that unit. However, we can go like so. And like so. And okay, let's think here for a second. 2, 2. Let's summon that there. That'll be a big surprise. And let's keep going. So I'm ahead of him on the Faeria counting meter because I've had 2 characters basically chugging away uninterrupted, whereas he's had 2, but I've now interrupted that. So now I'm going to be slowly progressing a little bit faster than him. I also have land far closer to his orb than he has to me, so I'm playing more offensively. However, with a green deck, it's tough to call because it's very buffy. Okay, he's still playing defensively. He wants to get those 2. It'd be nice if I could draw another Flame Spitter, because then I could just finish that guy off. Okay, so you can either hit this one with your 2 little baby minions here, or you can move this one to the side to intercept him. That would be the smart thing. Nope, you're not going to do it. I'm going to go directly to face. I'm going to face. Alright, let's draw another card. Yeah. Let's play that. So this minion's out of range and can't get there unless he moves that one. If he moved this unit to hit that, that would probably be the best move that he could do at this point, if he thinks of it. Again, I'm now 90% certain we are against a new player playing just a green deck, and this might be one of the first games. So I'm just the jerk, Atratzu, who's the first person that he's playing against. It's okay, man. I played only 10 hours. So let's see here. I've got the adrenaline going of maybe getting my first actual win in casual. I know, in casual mode. Ooh, big shooting for the skies, Atratzu. Think you can maybe get this victory? Woo boy. All right, come on, man. Come. I mean, I wouldn't be able to think very hard in his situation either. Okay, that I don't know about that. Let's see what you do about this. Are you gonna hit him with that? Gonna do it? What you gonna do? You gonna do that? Okay. You get a card. You'll be able to draw another one. You'll be able to put down a higher card next turn. Or you got 5 mana. Oh no! Mistakes were made. Let's put this card down here. Let's draw another card. What's this one? Combat. Do we have any that have combat? No, we don't. Let's put that there. Let's put this here. Let's go here. Let's go there. And then well played. Oh, it doesn't show well played at the end. I should have done well played at the beginning there. Whoops. So there you go. Now you get to see a win. So there, we got a win. We got 30 coins. Aw, 1 card away from getting the daily. Fifth. Well, I think that should be more than enough of an introduction. It's definitely a long video. We've been going for quite a while now, almost an hour. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I absolutely enjoyed this game, and I'm going to probably be playing dailies worth. Anyways, I'll log in and get my dailies anyway. And so, yeah, there's a lot to like about this game. It's got quite the start. Hopefully it keeps going. I can't wait to see what it does next. My name's Atratzu. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah. I don't have a catchphrase to end this on. I'm looking around if there's anything I possibly can say. How do you pronounce Faeria? ... Thanks for watching. See you next time.